everybody, Michael here, and now I want to talk about the future of artificial intelligence. Basically, the robots are coming to save or take over your job. That's, we don't really know what's going to happen, but that's certainly a lot of the thoughts and fears we might have, right? Talking about the future of education, here's what I hope artificial intelligence will do. Provide instant feedback to students, just right away give them that feedback that we need. Let me create personalized and customized learning for a huge range of students. Whatever ability level students have, I can personalize my lessons for them. Very cool. Pattern recognition. Hey, for example, like if I have a new year and I'm a math teacher or just a teacher in general, and I know a new student has some struggles in math, all I pretty much know is that student struggles with math. But thanks to artificial intelligence, I may be able to know where that student struggles and then be able to customize and personalize that learning so that student has the best education possible. That's going to be great. And in the end, teachers are going to have to become designers of education. Maybe a little bit less like, here's the curriculum, go teach it, and more like, how do I design a curriculum or a classroom or a lesson plan that customizes the learning for all learners and gives that instant feedback, all thanks to artificial intelligence. I hope that isn't like a pie-in-the-sky dream, but that's my hope and really, at this point, expectation for what artificial intelligence will be able to do. And then there's the future, outside of the classroom. What kind of jobs are going to be impacted by artificial intelligence? And from what I can gather and understand and read about is that anything that requires the collection, review, and synthesizing of information, that job is going to change. And that's what humans typically do right now, right? Like that's what our brains are for. And those jobs that could be impacted by that are things like lawyers, claims adjusters, insurance agents, customer service agents, doctors, teachers, artists, musicians, graphic designers, etc. I mean, just thinking about doctor. So if I was a doctor, I was working on a patient, and then some information about that patient will come up on my device here, or about the likeliness that if I give them this drug, that'll happen or whatever, and it'll give recommendations to me and on and on and on. Because it can go out and find all this information, find all these connections that I as a human just can't do efficiently enough. That's pretty neat. However, I think we can always guarantee, at least for the foreseeable future, the need or the want for human-to-human interaction. The pandemic taught us that. Students, adults, we need to interact. Generally, almost all of us need to interact or hang out with other people. So if we're a teacher, it's not like a robot's going to come and take over our job with artificial intelligence. Humans need that contact. They need somebody to say, good job, way to go, and just be a presence in the classroom. So I think artificial intelligence isn't going to take away an educator's job. It's only going to enhance it. Now, here's an example how it might enhance it. It's just something fun. I used a website called 11labs.io, and this is a class greeting being done by me. They cloned my voice. Sounds mostly like me. It's only going to get better. And this would be a class greeting. Now, in the future, I could have artificial intelligence actually clone me as well in a video format. I don't think that's going to be too hard to do, and that's something we'll probably see in the next year or so. Anyways, take a listen.
Hello, awesome students. Welcome to class. Today we are going to focus on our new coding unit. Continue to work with your partners to fulfill the tasks we have set up on Asana. Please note the coding game celebration is next Wednesday. Be ready to show off your work. Okay, ready, set, go.
Now, that's if I wanted to greet the class. Maybe I'd only use that if I was like absent or something. But something I could do is use my voice and potentially, again, my video to give assignment feedback. Here, take a listen to this.
Dear Fatima, wow, great job on your film project regarding your family. I appreciated that you included all family members. My cool feedback is being super careful to not have any extra noise in the background while you are recording interviews. For example, air conditioners may cause a lot of extra noise during the recording. Thanks, Mr. Bull.
So I could type up, as you can see here, these sorts of things and then have AI make a version of my voice, clone my voice, and then the student gets to listen or read, if they want to, my comments. Just an idea that we can already do. What about if you have Amazon, like an Amazon Echo or Alexa? Right now, you ask general questions, but you don't really have a two-way conversation. But with artificial intelligence, Alexa is going to be able to ask you things, ask you specifics, could hang out and have conversation with you for 20 minutes because you're kind of lonely. That's all going to be possible fairly soon. You know, a large company like Amazon is going to make that happen. Now, what makes AI and other technology really cool is something called an API. And that stands for an application programming interface. Now, you don't really need to know what it stands for, but now you've got that information. And next time you're out hanging out with people and you want to sound cool, say, hey, I was working on my API, application programming interface. Of course, you know about that, right? And then people think you're amazing. Okay, anyways, beyond that, here's how it works. APIs act as a bridge between one company to another. So, for example, we have OpenAI, which makes ChatGPT, has all that artificial intelligence. And then there'll be a zillion companies out there that'll be like, cool, I have an idea of how to use it. Maybe it's how to make a better burrito. I don't know. It's all these kinds of things that OpenAI itself is not going to do. It's going to license its technology out to other people who can innovate and come up with ideas. And instead, that's a lot how the internet worked. We just had the ability to connect with each other, and then people came up with all these zillions of ideas that no one individual or no one individual corporation could come up with. Now, there are people out there who want to block it. There's these, you can find AI blockers out there, but it's just like in the old days when the internet first came out, they tried to block it. It's like, well, that's not a good idea because people are going to use the internet anyways, and they're going to use it outside of school. So how about we use artificial intelligence inside school and help our students to use it effectively rather than being afraid of it and blocking it? Now, back to the API issue. If you go to a website called AIfinder.info, it's got over 1,000 tools, some that are probably using an API to use artificial intelligence. And this is only going to increase. This is just one website that is connecting to a bunch of other websites. So let's check it out. So you can see here a few things here on the top. And I'm going to hit play here so we can kind of browse through it. And there's too many for me really to read because it really is over 1,000. So instead, if I head up to the top there, I'm going to click on that filter there. And then over here under main category, you can see the different categories: writing tools, photo editing, coding help, sales tools, design tools, prompt tools, entertainment tools, video creation, HR tools, sound editing, resource tools, real estate, test platforms, on it goes. So that's how a good illustration of how APIs work, taking the existing technology and coming up with some ideas of your own. Now, that might make us all a little scared. Some of you may remember this movie.
You could accept the fact that this city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion.
What do you mean, biblical?
What he means is Old Testament, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
The dead
rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Enough!
Yeah, enough, because there is some mass hysteria right now around artificial intelligence. But it can potentially cause, let's not, forget that, it can cause mistrust of information. So if you don't know where it came from, there's already some of that today. Are you going to mistrust everything? What about massive job losses? Artificial intelligence is going to replace all these people, and suddenly we're going to have massive job losses. Will that create this collective fear? Will cats and dogs start living together happily? Who knows? Hopefully you, like me, find the future is exciting. We don't really know what's going to happen, but I think the potential is great and huge. And the more we leverage it and use it to do great things, the better it's going to turn out. Okay, hey, thanks for listening, and go figure out the future of artificial intelligence for you.